Good morning. It is currently 8:19 a.m. Curse you, daylight savings time! Um, on Sunday, March 8th, 2015, I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So, day 2 of PAX East was yesterday. And I did have fun, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about some of the stuff that I did, but also, I'm starting to wonder if, I don't know if next year maybe I don't need to do all 3 days or something like that. Okay, I was not sure what to start with. Maybe I'll go ahead and start with this. I think I found that this convention, when I have fun at a lot of the conventions that I go to, sci-fi and fantasy conventions and so on, the fun generally is either in going to an interesting panel or in just hanging out, but generally that's key to, you have friends there, right? Like that's one of the biggest things that I enjoy when I go to a convention is I want to hang out with people that I know and experience everything that's happening with them. But just for, chance of circumstance, the only other person that I knew personally already that was going ended up he was going with someone else and we couldn't get like our communication together, and so basically I didn't get to walk around with him. And this particular show, if you don't have someone to walk around and experience the show floor with, it's a little bit lonely. And especially when you're already kind of feeling that way and it's just a long line to see anything, it's not as fun. I mean, I'm not sorry that I went. I'm going back today, but I feel like next year I really need either someone to go with or maybe I don't need to do all 3 days. I don't know. We'll see how I feel about it. Maybe if it comes around again. I did do some fun stuff, but yeah, like I said, yesterday was oddly characterized by that. I was just feeling a little bit isolated in the middle of a big crowd. I also yesterday didn't get to actually play as much stuff because the lines were longer on Saturday than on Friday, which I guess makes sense. But it's the sort of thing where it's like, oh, look, the Nintendo booth has a demo of Splatoon. That looks like a fun game. Maybe I'd like to try to play that. Okay, so there's where you go in. Okay, here's the line. Okay, it goes around the corner. Oh, okay, and it goes around that corner. Okay, and then, okay, here's the end. So, hey, sir, how long is this line? An hour and 30 minutes. So, I'm thinking, do I really want to stand in line for an hour and 30 minutes to play Splatoon? It looks fun, but is that what I want to do with the next hour and 30 minutes? So I walk around a little bit more to see what else I might want to see, and all of the other lines are long too. And so I say, you know what? Sure, why not? I'll stand in line. Might as well. That's what I'm here to do, is play demos, right? Got my 3DS and Vita with me. I can play those while I stand in line since I don't have anyone to talk to. And then when I go back like 2 minutes later, they say, oh, no, sorry, the line's actually full. We can't let any more people line up in it right now. You can come back in an hour. And it's like, so I can come back an hour from now and then wait for an hour and a half. Yeah, so there was a lot of that yesterday, and it was a little frustrating. So that said, I did play some fun stuff. First was Pollen. Pollen is it's a first-person sort of mystery exploration game. A little bit like Myst, I guess, except in a sci-fi setting. You can see from the photo that this guy's in kind of a spacesuit. I believe the premise is that you are a new employee of this space station, but then when you arrive, you discover nobody else is there. There's a big mystery. But what was partly cool about it too is that it's optimized for the Oculus Rift, and so this is one of the games that I think is really, first of all, it's being designed from the ground up to be compatible with the Oculus rather than trying to hack it in after the fact. And I think this is one of the things that's really well suited for the Oculus because it's a little bit more slow moving and ponderous. I think one of the issues with virtual reality in general is that some people can really tend to get motion sick. And the faster you're running and jumping around, the more likely that is to happen. So a game like this where you're not necessarily moving fast, it's more thoughtful, and it's really just the VR is there to make it immersive, like you're really there. It's really well suited for it. And so it was a 90-minute demo, or 90-minute line for a 4-minute demo. But it's really cool. I definitely think it's got potential, and it's one of the ones that I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be investing in this stuff when the time comes. That one looks like it'll be fun. Another game that I played was Ninja Pizza Girl, which was an indie game. No pants, no pizza. I'm not actually sure what. Oh, that's right. So the main character is a pizza delivery girl, and in the demo there's an in-joke about how she keeps delivering pizza to people, and people answer the door with no pants on. Anyway, though, that game is it's kind of a sort of a runner parkour type game where you're delivering pizza, and you're running across balconies and rooftops and stuff like that, and it's kind of trying about to get to where you're going the fastest, and so you're jumping over things and taking different paths, and you duck to slide under stuff, and it's so the gameplay is relatively simple, but it's fun, and it's got a lot of kind of character to it. So like you can see on the other side, like this is our main character here, and so there's a lot of character art kind of in that style, and there's some fun flavor in the dialogue. Another thing that I ended up waiting in line for was to get a YouTube dog tag with my YouTube channel on it. Alright. Pretty exciting, right? And it only made me have to stand in line for 20 minutes. And even as I was standing in line for that one, the person in front of me turns to me and kind of said, "I'm not even sure I want this." And I said, "Well, yeah, but the line is shorter than all the others." And he goes, "Yep." And we both stayed in the line. So anyway, that's kind of a weird thing. I did also get the swag bag, which is just something, they give it out free for everybody. So I figured I'll go through what the stuff is in here, and then probably I'll finish it. Oh wait, and then I have one more thing that I'll talk about today. But so let's see. It looks like a button for the Top Score podcast. I listened to a fair amount of video game podcasts already. I'm not familiar with that one, but who knows? Maybe I'll check it out. They did give me a button after all. There is a card-based game called Superfight there at the show that I didn't actually get to play, but there's a special PAX exclusive card that came with it. And the card is Sentient Pinata Full of Spiders. So yeah, just think about that for a second. There is a deck of magic cards. Nissa Ravine. So this is a starter deck, ready to play, 30-card deck. you know, I played a little bit of Magic the Gathering way back when, like still in school, not even college, but like high school. And so I don't know. Hey, if people are still digging it, then good for them. But boy, I don't think I have much use for this. A couple of little advertising cards. You know, look, a headset. Look, a different headset. Look, yet more headsets. Headsets all over the place. And then some special themed wired fight pads. I actually might get one of these just because for playing multiplayer Smash Brothers, this is kind of the best controller, so I might see if I can pick one of those up. And then, last of all, there's 2 League of Legends skins. The picture is the same for both of them, and they both say Arclight Vel'Koz. So I don't know if that means that these are 2 of the same skin or not. They are different codes on the back. So I don't know if anyone who watches this plays League of Legends, but if you want these codes, I will totally give them to you. Just let me know, I guess. So anyway, the last thing that I'll talk about today that I did do is I actually happened to be just checking Twitter, and I saw that the KindaFunny guys, that's Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty, who used to be at IGN on Podcast Beyond, Podcast Beyond, podcast that I was a big fan of those guys, but then they left IGN to start their own thing, Patreon-supported YouTube online presence where they do their own shows, including the Game Over Greggy show and the KindaFunny Games Cast. Well, what I saw on Twitter is that they were doing a meet and greet that was off-site, not at the con, but you know, elsewhere. So I decided to go to that. Now, you know, as I'm a fan of these guys, I'll just go ahead and say that. I've been listening to the Podcast Beyond podcast, which is all about PlayStation video games, for a long time, years, probably 5 years, yeah. And I just really enjoy it. I really like those guys. And now they're moving on to this new thing that they're doing with 2 other guys, Nick Scarpino, who I believe was also at IGN, and Tim Geddes. I don't remember if he was at IGN or not. But anyway, the 4 of them now are doing this thing at KindaFunny.com. And I really like what they're doing. And so I was excited to kind of go meet them. Just because, again, it's like I've listened to hundreds of hours of them on podcasts. It's definitely that sort of the intimacy of podcasting that you sort of feel like you know them. And so it's a little weird to go meet someone in person because, you know, you feel like you know them, but you also are a rational human being and you know that that's a one-sided connection. You know, like they might appreciate you listening, but they don't know you. So in any case, they had it at this place called Connor Larkin's, which is just a little Boston University bar type place. And it was super crowded because it was probably too small a venue for the number of people that they had come to this thing. But I will say that I met all 4 of them and shook their hand and told them that I appreciated this, you know, the stuff they were doing. And all 4 were just super nice, really friendly, really approachable. And so it was really a pretty rewarding thing, you know, and definitely it's been a while since I felt, you know, like geeked out and a little bit starstruck by somebody. But boy, Greg Miller in particular, like, he's kind of my type, I think, maybe. Anyway, okay, so I think that's probably it for today. I am going to head back to PAX East today. I'm going to try to maybe get a little in one of those bigger lines a little bit earlier so that there's time to actually, you know, do the thing. But in any case, another long one today because I'm summing up these PAX things. But I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow for 5 more minutes.